Welcome to Toffee TV. I must say I'm delighted to be joined in the studio by Cole Fraser and Jonny Lacey, aka Johnny Bongo and Slutty Suzie. Not my words, they are just the characters. I am just here for the chat.
You wanted him to wear his dress today.
I asked and he let me down. It is warm to get makeup on in here, to be fair, but
thanks for having us in.
I'm delighted to have you in. Big Evertonians here as part of our My Goodison series. But before we do, and we will chat about Goodison if you put it on and think I'm just chatting about Slutty Suzie. Just watch this bit. Where did, obviously Bongo's been, I can't even say it, I'm that excited. It's absolutely brilliant. But where did the idea come from?
So we've been going 10 years now.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Bongo's Bingo just came off the back of a pub quiz I used to do in town called Johnny Bongo's Monday Night Quiz. And it was like, still a pub quiz, but it had sort of elements of dance-offs and mad prizes and rave rounds, and it was off its head basically. And I did it for about 5 years, and was thinking of doing something else. And I met with my business partner. He was putting on raves and things like that in town. And I just thought, why don't we give a bingo night? I go do bingo, same sort of format as the quiz, taking something that could be a bit like stale or maybe seen a bit boring, but and just breathing new life into it. But as soon as we made the jump from doing a quiz to bingo, it just snowballed. Like it went like it sold out all the time. We were then starting to bring it all over the country, further afield. Like we did tours of Australia, Ibiza, Dubai, Amsterdam, New York. So it's mad. I think if anyone hasn't been,
New York, Bongo's Bingo in New York is just
best time ever.
Yeah, last year that was unbelievable.
Yeah, but they fully into it, fully on board.
Yeah, we had to tailor a bit of the stuff with like the music. The Yanks weren't too familiar with S Club 7 and stuff like that.
Well, so they didn't quite crack them.
Give them a bit of Backstreet Boys and that, they were signed. But no, it's if anyone hasn't been, it's just a good night out. It's good fun. Yeah. Like I've seen you there on the tables with your top off. Like you just let loose, don't you?
Swirling.
Yeah, that's class. No,
you got to do it. Yeah, you got to do it. No, it's a brilliant night out. But what about the character? I mean, come on, where's your character come from?
No idea. Honestly, there was like, so I'd come in like a year after he'd started. I'd met Jonny when he was doing the quiz. And the other characters were called Sweaty Betty and Slutty Sue. Slutty Sue broke his leg, and I got the call up, like, got promoted. Tinkerbell dress in a wig, and I was like, well, that's
no previous dancing experience.
Yeah,
no. Well, I think that's the thing with all our like on stage team. No one's really. They're not like polished performers or hosts. I'd never planned to be a bingo caller or a DJ or a host. It just it's good because our performers are like rough around the edges. No disrespect.
More like hype men kind of thing. Than
just get the crowd going. But
what I mean, for anyone who hasn't been, I don't need to explain it. But for anyone who hasn't been, what is the? Give them a little format of what it is, because people here, I'll be honest, like when I didn't know nothing about it, and people like going to Bongo's Bingo, and I'm thinking, bingo, so there's the stereotypical bingo. No, it's a night out, and I was like, I couldn't get my head around it till I went, and when I went, I got it. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's probably that's the best way to describe it, though. When you explain it to people, and like it is a bingo night, you come, you do play bingo, and then there's different prizes and dance-offs and a rave round, but it's really, really hard to explain because people are just like, what? And then that happens, and then what? So the best advert for it is actually just come and see what it's like, because and especially like for people that probably think, do you know what? That's not for me. Like, that sounds. But people just love it. No, like, do you know what I mean? It's just that's the thing I'm the most proud of. People walk away from it with a smile on their face and just go, that was class. So
listen, like I said, it's absolutely brilliant, but. It is a bit mad, but it's good. It's good mad, and that's what you like, isn't it? You go and have a bevy and
let loose,
and just exactly. And the sights you see are incredible, aren't they?
Yeah, especially some of his revealing dance moves and getting the legs out. Legs 11,
and he's there.
It's more than just a bingo night.
It is more than just a bingo, and the prizes, obviously, prizes are
Henry Hoover's unicorns, cash, Cocoa Pops.
There was Disney princesses when I went.
Yeah.
And the people were there for that.
It's an expensive prize out as well.
People were there.
You see people trying like just flog them for 20 quid. When they've won it. And we're like, fuck, we know how much that's worth.
Yeah. Proper stuff.
Mobility scooters, the lot. Listen, if you haven't been, get yourself. I mean, it's hard to get tickets. as well. So
Get down.
That's how popular it is. Get yourself down at the Baltic. It's Bossa area anyway, isn't it? And it's obviously an area that is thriving, but it's long may it continue, because it is a very, very good night out. Everton, that's what we're here for. So let's chat about Everton. So let's go to you first, Cole.
Yeah.
Obviously an Evertonian since a wee boy, as they say. Can you remember your sort of first game?
I think my first game was Feyenoord after we'd won the FA Cup in '95. I think it was 0-0.
Yeah, 0-0. Yeah.
I mean, I think I was 5 at the time.
Amakati got stretched off.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
See, I don't remember that. Like, I just remember being there. And after that, the next game I remember was Dave Watson's testimonial in '97, maybe, against Rangers. I remember walking past the Royal Oak, and the Rangers fans had put all the windows through with stools.
They were a bit lively that night, yeah.
And then my first season, I think it was 98, 99, when we just survived. It was at the game when we stayed up with Farley's goal. Yeah. It was probably one of my better memories. Like, I fell down the back of the seat when I was celebrating, and a fella next to me just picked me up, kissed me on the head and said it would have worked more if they'd scored.
And he's right. Yeah. He's right. What a goal that was, by the way. And that's your grounding. Yeah. I mean, I know this is always a difficult one, because people are like, I can't really remember, but the first sort of time you took Goodison Park in as a stadium, do you know, when you walk in and it's like, did it stick in your mind that first time, or was it as you got a little bit older and you're like, I love this place? It
did stick in my mind the first, that Farley game, because obviously went on the pitch after the game and got a bit of tear from that.
Bit of a hooligan on there, grabbing the
everyone was on there. No, I remember Stuart tried to stop me. I was like, there's 10,000 people on
yes, why am I getting stopped? Yeah.
But I feel like going on the pitch that day and like looking around the stadium being like, fucking hell. But like, sorry, I don't know if we can swear.
No, go on.
But and then like I had loads of pictures from that day, like, so I just remembered it properly from then. Obviously, that's when the park end and all that had been finished off. So
it is weird, isn't it, when you're on the pitch? It looks so different, doesn't it? You know, when you look up and you see like people in the stands, it flips it, doesn't it, from obviously what you normally see and all that. But we'll carry on with you in a minute. But what about you, Jonny? What's your Everton's? Because you weren't an Evertonian as a kid.
No, to be fair, I never really followed the Premier League at all. I probably in school growing up, I probably would have just said, Man United. But George Best was from East Belfast. My dad and his mates would probably have. They didn't really follow it, and I followed a team in Belfast called Glentoran.
Oh yeah.
And I used to go watch them all the time at the Oval, class. And then when I moved to Liverpool when I was 18, I was here for a couple of years, and then I went down to London. And again, I was working in bars and restaurants, and I started following it a little bit more, just for chat. You know, just to be in the bars and you're having conversations, and then fast forward, I moved back to Liverpool and I started working in a call centre in Kirby. Started working with a load of blues, and I was chatting to a guy, Jed McNally. He was telling me all about it and telling me the history, and then fast forward again, working in Bingo, and Cole was a big one, saying, you know, like I was like, I fancy going to a game, and I think we got tickets. I think the first game and the first time I'd been in Goodison, and I don't think I'd ever been even in a Premier League ground before. Right. So like the Oval in Belfast, one stand, you know, a lot of standing around. It's probably like 5,000-6,000, you know, and they wouldn't even have got that many fans there. But I think it might have been Tottenham. I think we went. It was Everton, Tottenham.
Me and you went to Brighton. We won 2-0.
Cenk Tosun. The Turkish king. What a guy. Do you know what? I can't necessarily remember the first game, but I remember the first time going in and my mind was like blown, like going up. I think we were in the upper main stand, and it was just like this is unbelievable. Yeah. Just being in a ground with even like that many people. And I think we went to a couple more games, and I was sucked in. Like I was like, we need to get season tickets. Yeah. Like we need to start coming here all the time. And I think it is the old cliche here, you like the saying, once that club touches your heart. But for me, it was genuinely like that. I got so into it, like love it. Got my Everton tattoo. Like I'm like fully in the zone, fully immersed. And you know, the kids are all bringing them up as blues and taking them to the game, and like I love it. And I think it's interesting, like at the last game, the Ipswich match, and obviously the talk of, you know, moving to the new stadium, and I've been down there for the test events, and it's just like incredible. And it kind of felt like, you know, obviously for everyone's coming up to the last game, and it's a lot of emotions for people, especially for people who've been going years, and I've kind of felt, you know, to myself, like, well, I'm not going to have the, you know, I've only been going for 6 seasons. But on that last Ipswich game of the flag, I looked around at you, seen some tears down. The guy in front of me, Phil, like, he was just, like, and I started welling up. I was like, yeah, it is. I know I've only been going like 6 years, but I was like, this is an end of an era. And I think feeling the emotion of other people as well. Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's mad.
It was weird. Saturday was weird, the Ipswich game, because the display was unbelievable.
The ticket tape got me.
The ticket tape and everything. It's mad though, isn't it? Because we've, like, me and Ped have been asked all season from various people and on different programmes we've been, you know, being on and stuff of like, what's it gonna feel like? And like early on the season, because everything was really negative as well, it was just like, can't even think, don't know. You know, it's not the time to ask me. But the last couple of games, and again on Saturday, the game finished and we were like, got 90 minutes left, that's it.
One more time.
That's it. With all these people who we've sat with forever, you know, for years, and it's like,
yeah, I think that's it, because that sort of hit home a lot more. Because it's not the last one, but you just knew that, okay, now there is only one.
That's
you keep seeing the countdown on the screen, and it's like, yeah, there's 10 more games, 5 more games, and then that feeling like we're only going to come back here one more time.
Yeah. It is crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. Cole, what's been sort of, when you think back, what do you think your best memory that you've had in there?
Obviously, there hasn't been many great times. Like, obviously, the Derby wins.
Yeah.
The 2-2 win was good as well, wasn't it?
Love that, the 2-2 win.
I think when we qualified for the Champions League, the game where we like put it to bed, was it Newcastle?
Newcastle, yeah.
That was a good one. Like,
great.
Yeah, that's probably the one up there. I remember that season, to be fair, there's a lot of games. Like when we done Palace 4-0, we absolutely battered them. The United one that season as well, Ferguson was a big one. I'd say probably the Champions League one, though. Just because like, it's not the biggest achievement we've had while I've been there. Like, so, just made up. Seeing us up there was like, I never thought I'd see it the early years. Obviously, when I was first started going, it's like 16th, 17th every season, and then just go straight to 4th.
Yeah,
it was class.
Yeah. They'll come back.
I know.
Them times will come back. I mean, I just want to quickly go back to the Everton thing for you, because we've seen the pain on our face, like, you know, child blues. We're in a city where there's another club in this city, albeit sort of like the afterbirth, you know. They are, aren't they? We're the big brother, aren't we? We're the real club. And, you know, you're in that city, there's a lot of that going on, and they have been, you know, what is it, 6, 7, 8 years, they've been sadly quite successful in that time. Would it have been easy for you to gravitate to go what's them with less pain and less heartache? I mean, just for the time you've been into it, Jonny, has been probably the worst time in Everton's, near enough, one of the worst eras ever in Everton's history.
I don't know, though. I think that's like, there's probably a little basis of when I supported Glentoran. There's another team in Belfast, and it would kind of be the same sort of dynamics. And you know, I wasn't going to the Oval week in, week out and seeing us win. So, but you know, it's Glentoran's really successful club, and they have won loads. Like sort of, it's kind of similar, the history
of it.
But I don't know. It's a tough one, because like I'd rather raise the. Do you know, if you're winning every single week, it's funny when I do see Reds and maybe they lose a game and they absolutely lose their head, and you're like, come on,
burn shirts and stuff, and players,
going nuts, and you know, it's a bit more grounding to maybe not, you know, to grow up not winning all the time, and you learn a bit more. I don't know. But
winning a little bit would be nice, though.
Yeah, winning a little. Well, it's coming.
Sometimes it'd be nice.
It's coming. I feel it. It's coming.
Yeah,
it's exciting times ahead, definitely.
Yeah. Oh God, absolutely. I mean, it is like we've just been sort of talking about there, seeing that them games count down. Because I remember we were talking, it was like 10 to go, and that seemed it was still like, oh, there's loads, and all of a sudden it's we're talking now, there's 1 to go, and I mean, it's hard to picture what that last game's going to be like, because you just don't know, do you? You don't know whether it's going to be unbelievable atmosphere or whether everyone's just going to be crying, like you just said, that it's going to be like a bit of a.
I think it'll be a bit of both. To be fair, I think the atmosphere will be unbelievable, but it's going to be amazing.
I just hope we win. I just want to win.
They got it, haven't they? I mean, you couldn't I know we're all like, well, you didn't have fully experienced what Everton do, but you couldn't choose a better opponent, could you, if you were going to try to sign off with a win? You know, the relegated team, bottom of the league, was terrible. They have beaten us twice this season, which is the one that you sort of go, ooh. But all things being equal, it's a game that Everton have got to win. Surely should win.
Yeah, definitely.
Doesn't need it.
I think it's still, you never know though, do you? Like,
I know, but it's terrifying.
Even if we're 3-0 up, you'll still be thinking, I don't know, there's 10 minutes to go.
2-0 up would be worse, won't it? Let's get to 3.
Get the 3.
We might be able to hang on with 3. 2 is a terrible result for us at the moment, being 2-0 up. When you think back, certainly for you, who was sort of like your first hero then? First ever?
It was probably
hero?
Dunk.
Was it?
Yeah. I remember I liked Scotty when I was younger. And when he left, I remember my dad was always talking about Joe Parkinson. And then I remember when Dunk started, and my dad was like, this will be like your favourite. And obviously he was like, although there was times when I thought, what are you doing? Like 1-0 down, he just come on, just elbow someone.
Don't calm down.
But yeah, Ferguson, and I loved Kyle as well. Obviously that was like the bit of success that I was there for, and he was obviously just like the one who like kind of spearheaded it.
Well, we had that era, didn't we, which from sort of, Moyes' first era.
Yeah.
I mean, once Moyes sort of steadied the ship for the first season, most seasons till he left, we were competitive, we were good.
Yeah.
We never won anything, and maybe money stopped us winning something.
Fifth most years, wasn't it? Like
5th, 6th, he had the 4th. They were a really good side, and then obviously when we got the money, it all went wrong, basically.
Yeah.
And we're hoping now, with this takeover, that things are gonna sort of improve.
Hopefully, yeah.
He's back, David Moyes is. I mean, what was that like certainly for you first? Because obviously you remember him the first time, and then he's coming back in.
Him coming back.
What was
I actually wanted him when we were linked. When Ancelotti came in, obviously before his name had been mentioned. I think I wanted Moyes then. I know a lot of fans were sceptical about it, but for me, I just thought he's just going to come in steady. Which is exactly what he did this year. But in fact, he didn't even steady it, he turned it right round, didn't he? That would steady down a little bit now. But I always just thought, like, I remembered what he was like, and he wasn't rash or anything like that, he wasn't too defensive. And he just he's done exactly what I thought he was going to do, to be fair. So I was made up with it.
Yeah. And then obviously looking ahead, new owners and stuff, the new ground.
Yeah.
Everything feels a hell of a lot more positive.
Yeah, definitely. Like the new ground's fantastic. There's money to spend. I think we'll spend big in the summer, hopefully. But like, I'm so excited about getting into that new ground. Like,
come on then, the new ground. Have you been in the new ground? Yeah. So you've both been down there. Obviously, we're looking at that place behind us, and we're talking about the emotion of that. What is it? What's it like? I've not been. I didn't.
Have you not? No.
So I didn't get into the first test event. So when it was 10,000, didn't get thrown out the ballot. And then I sort of blagged me lad that I put us in for the second one, but I had a cob on from the first one. But to be fair, I didn't want to. I only want to go when it's the first team and it's full. That's why, because I want that experience of like, come on, then convince me that this is awesome, because Goodison is.
I think
so.
We felt the same way. I think we were like, we'll just wait till the first game, but then we're just too impatient. And just gotta get in there. Like,
I think it was good though, actually going in and seeing it like that, but then like kind of looking around and thinking, when this is like an Everton, like a first team game, this is going to be class. Like, it is good in there. It's lovely, and it's like, although I'm going to be gutted leaving Goodison, and I've seen what we're going to, which I kind of like. It's all right. Like,
and I suppose like. Although I went through it, you see it in there. You can't actually really imagine it full still.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, you can't anticipate what like the noise is going to be like in there. Obviously, the way it's been built, especially to have that like feeling of like a really intense atmosphere. But I can't even get my head around it until you're there for that first game.
Does it feel sort of, as they've tried to sort of describe it, it's right on top of the pitch and it's steep and all that? Does it feel like that when you're in there?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Compared to like some of the other new grounds you see, it does feel close. Like, obviously, I think that's one of the things we didn't want to lose from Goodison as well, because we are right on top of the pitch, aren't we? And I think it's the same there. Like, especially obviously the stands are like that, aren't they? Like the top balcony, so that's like right around.
I'm in the lower. I've gone for I'm in the lower east.
I think if you suffer from vertigo, you might be. But
that was my big thing for me. It was like, I can't be that high. I can't be, especially the way I celebrate when we score.
Rolling right down.
But when we went in, we'd had a bit of a big day on the ale, haven't we? The first time. And we were up there, and I just remember being like, oh, like just like wobbling all over the place. I need to sit down.
Take a bit of time each step. Yeah.
When is it not a big day on the hill for you, mate? Do you know what I mean?
Like,
Well, you know, sometimes watching Everton, you need to just dumb it all down. I mean, that is, when you're pitching it full, and that does it make you feel like we can move to sort of like the next level? Because obviously we all love Goodison, and it's ingrained in us, isn't it? And I can't pitch. I will, but I can't at the moment picture us being in some other place at home and playing the games there and moving forward. But obviously we're going to, aren't we? But is it a ground that you look at and think they could elevate us? This just the way, the surroundings of it, because we all love Goodison, but we've all sat with posts in our view and everything else over the years. Does that ground look as though this belongs sort of higher up the league to you, Everton? Challenging for stuff.
I think so.
100%. Like,
I think it's important that we can sell it, which I think we will sell it out. Like, but then it's important that we turn the results around, because if it starts tailing off and we're not like getting sell-out crowds, and I think that's when you start worrying. Like, you look at the likes of City and all that, and obviously they've got the success, but they've got the money, and we haven't got that. If the crowd's not behind them, then they're going to really struggle out there. Like, but I reckon it'll be full.
Yeah. Well, there's 25,000 on the waiting list. So normally the first couple of years anyway, when there's a transition, it's full anyway, because people just want to get in there and can't go all the time. And then it's up to the new owners now, isn't it? And it's up to David Moyes and the players to start, driving us up that table and buying better players. Moving from Goodison Park, then what do you think you'll miss the most? It's a difficult thing to say, like what, because you'll say everything, but when you actually think of it, I mean, can you believe though that there is just one game, that's it. That is it. I know there's a lot of talk, and I think it's going to happen. The women are going to end up playing it, but it's not going to be the same, is it? It'll be great for the women and great for people to go and watch it and be there. But for the men's first team, which is what we've all grown up and what you've got involved in, what do you think you're going to miss about going there on a match day? I
think it'll probably be the same for everyone. Is sort of missing that, like, everyone's got their own little tradition of what to do on match day, you know, and I think that's when we go to the Crown of County Road, JT's bar, County Road's best kept secret. Have you heard of it?
No.
See? To be fair, we can talk about it now, but because we just didn't want it to get rammed. Little cocktail bar, best Jager bombs on County Road. Lovely pint.
It's just up the road from the Brick.
Oh, okay.
We used to go to the Brick, and obviously you can't get served in there. It's a nightmare. Half an hour to get served. In JT's, it looks like it used to just be like a little shop front. They put a bar in there.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Look at this.
It's opening at 8 o'clock, by the way. Little plug for JT's. 8 a.m. on the last game. So, we'll be in there. It's class. Got a flower wall. Good tunes.
What more do you want?
Yeah. No, it's like, though, like, that's like our kind of...
Yeah, so that's it. Yeah. And then, I think, and also the like, you build relationships with people that you're sitting with, don't you? And sitting around. Like the couple that sit in front of us, Phil and Julie, we've been trying for 6 seasons to get them to come down to the bingo. And it's like, oh, you gotta come down. And they finally came last week.
Did they?
And like, Phil is, a bit of an older gentleman, a little bit more reserved, a bit of a finger pointer, and he's got his catchphrases that he shouts out, like that sort of nonsense. That and
did he shout that to you?
That's bang out of order. That's a false call. But anyway, we got them down to the bingo last week, and they had the best time ever.
Was Phil on the table?
Phil was on the table. We got the best greeting from him at the Ipswich game. He turned around, my boys, big hugs and all. We were like, oh, we got him. We got him on side after 6 seasons.
6 seasons of being in it.
I think that's it. Well, it's missing everyone around, and just the atmosphere of the place. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one, definitely.
It's weird. It is weird because I think again, like I said, that sort of hit me on Saturday. That don't you? But you sort of then thinking there's one more game with all these people because we're all going off to different places in the new ground, obviously, because they're just people you see at the match, aren't they? Yeah. So to speak. So there was none of like, where are you sitting? I'll try and sit next, because this wouldn't have worked. It couldn't work the way it was done, tenure and all that stuff. So it is going to be a bit strange going and getting used to people around you and people around me getting used to me screaming and shouting. this guy, you know what I mean?
Rolling down the steps
Rolling
for
down
every
the steps
celebration,
when we
yeah.
score a goal, you know, forwards roll, we go with shoulder pads on and all that. But it is, isn't it? It is going to be those sorts of traditions, walking up the stairs, looking at the ground. And,
but then that all starts again, doesn't it? And you know, you form that all over again. and I think it's time to move and have it.
That's, I mean, there is that overriding thing. I mean, I must admit, I was sat there, and when Ipswich equalised, I was just sort of like, yeah, get me out this misery. The curse of Hadjuk split is real.
I said that, when we were walking down the road when we come out as well. I was like, fucking get us out of here.
There's definitely something in someone. I'm telling you, the Hadjuk split 2017 curse is real. It's real. They were kicking off at 0-0 through an advertising board. Nothing had happened. He picked that advertising board up and launched it and then cursed us. And since then, it all went wrong. We had Koeman, we had money, we had loads of players, and then all of a sudden, we were skint, got points taken off us and all that. Get us out. Get us to the new place. Just finally then, the Southampton game is obviously one where, we said before, you can't imagine what it's going to be like. It's going to be so surreal. Are you going to be there for bus welcomes, and are you going to be there for... And how long do you think you're going to sort of stay in the ground after? Or do you think it'll just be like, get me out of here, because...
No, well, as I mentioned...
I mean, you're crying when ticket tape comes, so what are you going to be like?
Nah, I'll be sobbing. Like, I reckon. I hadn't even thought about the bus coming and all that, to be fair. Is that like a bit of a thing everyone's planned to go down, are you?
There's more than one, put it that way. And it's going to be... it's going along, it's not going down Goodison Road, so to speak. I think it's coming up the way when we won the FA Cup, that they're doing that sort of thing. So going past the megastore, Everton won, and then going past the back of the park end and round that way down towards by the cemetery and then round. So people are going to be lining the streets there, basically like they did when we won the FA Cup 30 years ago, that kind of thing. So it's going to be unbelievable. I mean, that's going to be unbelievable. I think that's around, I mean, I can't believe him. I don't even know if Pet's going to make it, because he doesn't realise there's like sort of 2 10s, you know, on the same day and that. So he's going to have to get up really early. But it is a case, because I walk in at like 2 minutes before kick-off normally. That's my thing, and I know I can't do that at the new ground. But even I'm gonna get down there for that, because I just think that day, it's gonna be such an occasion, isn't it? It's gonna be such a weird feeling. I think I might even have a pint.
Yeah.
Do you not normally have a bevy at the game, though?
No. I try to keep my head clear. Bad enough when I have had
JT's opens at 8 o'clock in the morning.
I might be in JT's with you two. You're looking for JT. Get in there, have a bevy, and then get to the coach welcome. I'll be texting you, where are you? Well, I mean, have you thought about, are you going to try to make it a well, you just said you're going to be there.
Yeah, we're going to be at 8 o'clock, but we'll be there, and it's going to be. It's interesting. I'm interested to see what it's like after the game, and I know there's thought there's going to be something on the pitch, like a show. I don't know what it is.
The club are doing
but
stuff.
They're doing stuff. I think they're announcing it soon, but it'll be hard to get people out of there. Like, I think people will just not want to leave, just stick about.
You've seen a few the same on Saturday as well. Obviously, it was like would have been their last game. Yeah, and I think they'll have 39,000, whatever it is, not wanting to leave the weekend.
Yeah. It's weird. It's going to be so weird. Evan have put a thing out actually with some somber music behind it of
I just seen that this morning.
People just sitting and just looking, and it must have been like, so obviously a lot of people's last game, or people taking it in. And I must admit, I was watching. I normally just go, oh yeah, I was watching it thinking.
And then they started crying again.
The lips started going. Me. Bloody hell, it's bricks and mortar, pack it in. But no, listen, it's going to be so weird, but something that obviously will affect us all, won't it, in different ways. And I don't know whether it's just got a little bit dusty in here, I'm not sure. Lads, thank you very much for coming
for having us on.
Chat, and enjoy it, and I'll see you in JT.
And we'll see you down the bingo soon as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it's off. Looking for Slutty Suzie. I can't wait. Thanks for watching. Make sure you check out Bongo's Bingo. We'll put a link in the description as well. Get your tickets, get down there, see the lads. Just see Gerard on for a second, then.
That's what a feeling.
Some wild people up. Love it. Thanks for watching. See you later.
Nice one.
Fun.
Buttons aren't working.